you do it like that. That's not gonna work. That's not gonna happen. Let it go. I had no other choice but to do that. I did it like 2 or 3 times. I had no other choice but to do that. But even in this moment, as I'm sitting here doing this, and I'm listening, and Divine is talking, I'm listening, and Divine is talking. If I had the ability to see it on that screen, I probably would have spent most of my time in the midst of doing this video looking at the screen. But if I would have been looking at the screen as opposed to looking at you, I wouldn't have been looking at you. There wouldn't have been any eye contact. You see what I'm saying? As I'm even sitting here looking at you right now and I'm talking to you, I've been more directly talking towards you as opposed to looking up here and talking. In my industry, and if it has not been made clear, let me go ahead and make it clear at this moment. Webcam and cam girl. That's just what it is. I'll always be a cam girl. That's just what it is, and it's part of who I am. A lot of people look at us and they think, oh, it's like a sex worker. Well, it is a sex worker. And oh, you don't have any morals. You've gone through hell and high water. I have gone through hell and high water, and I do have morals. Like, really not being funny, just being honest about it. Been through hell and high water, made it through, and I do have morals. But, people do it for different reasons. People are in the adult industry for different reasons. They allow themselves to be in the industry for different reasons. I started out as a phone sex girl. Will always be a phone sex girl at heart as well. Let me just say this, and I know this has gotten pretty lengthy, so I may just have to chop this up a little bit, and I don't know. I don't know. We're going to figure it out. But the point that I'm making, though, is when I first ever found out about webcamming, I had to be about 21, 22 years old. Excuse me, I'm sorry. I had to be like 21, 22 years old. And I was actually in a relationship with a female at this time. It was long distance. All of it was long distance, honestly. I never had a actual relationship with a female. I've had experiences, but I've never had a relationship with one. And I'm not going to be funny when I say this, because I can say it because it's the truth. I really don't ever feel like I've ever been attracted to females. That's not even it. And I know somebody may want to say, oh, you may be, asexual, or you may be pansexual. No. I'm a healthy, heterosexual woman. I'm straight. I'll just be honest about it. I'm straight. I haven't been bisexual either. The only type of females that I've ever connected with in any kind of way were studs, masculine females, and they always looked masculine. Masculine. And how it even happened in the first place is a whole other story, which we will get to at some point. But I was talking to her, and I had gotten to that point in that relationship too. And back then I was talking to my mama / mentor / friend. She was talking about how she kind of is about relationships, not just letting them go. I used to be like that too. I used to be like that. I'm gonna go ahead and be real about it. I know from the time I meet a person, they open their mouth and they start talking to me, whether or not this is something that's gonna last, or if this is just a trip. If this is just a trip. And yeah, it was a trip. And back then though, I had the capacity to actually know that and stick it out for a whole year and some change or more. Knowing that. Knowing that. Because it was like I would take that year to mentally and emotionally and physically and spiritually get myself prepared for you not being a part of my life anymore. Fortunately and unfortunately, depending on who telling the story, I don't need that anymore. Now it's more like, if it's over, it's over. It's done. That's just what it is. And I'm going to move forward. And that's just what it is. I'm going to grieve or whatever the situation may be. But then I'm going to move forward. But on an even bigger note, because I now understand how life works. And I understand, you know, again, that this is a game. And I understand how this game is played. And how it needs to be played. And when I say played in the game, I'm not talking about mano a mano. I'm not talking about point the person to person. I'm talking about something much bigger than that. And this is where the divine part is coming out. I'm talking about when you understand that each person that you encounter is you. Like, you understand that. You get it. You get that each person and your experience is you in another body. And you understand that it's like a remote, or it is a remote. Whatever you're doing to yourself, whatever, positive or negative, high vibrational or low vibrational, that's what each one of these people are coming into your life to do. And if you've already encountered this type of energy before, and if you've done that, but you didn't finish lessons, I say to people all the time, a relationship is a lesson, a blessing, or both. A lesson, a blessing, or both. If you don't finish a lesson with this person, you're going to have that same lesson again happen with this person. Just not necessarily with this person in this body. You're going to meet this person again in a different body, under different circumstances. And you're going to still have to either pick up right where you left off or start all the way over again until you get through that lesson. That's how it works. So, that being said and done, you have a choice. You can stick it out in the relationship you are in, whatever relationship. This is mother-daughter, father-son, or mother-son, father-daughter, boyfriend-girlfriend, husband-wife, sister-brother, whatever the situation, best friend. You can stick it out and learn whatever lesson it is that you need to learn. Or you can go and still have to be right back in that same spot again. That spot may not necessarily be today, may not be tomorrow. You may have to go all the way 9 months up the road and then pop, get right back in the same situation you were in before. Number one, as a reminder that it happened before. But also number two, because it's leftover things that still was not done. And not necessarily with that person. It can be with the same person. Or it can be with somebody else totally together. And at this point, at that stage, it gets even more messier, if you will. But not really messier, just even more in depth, if you will. Because if that person, whomever it is, has put themselves into a position to not be vibrationally compatible with allowing you to learn this lesson, and for them too to also learn the lesson that it is they need to learn through you, well then divine needs to excommunicate that person and bring in yet somebody else anyway to help you learn that lesson. And that's usually how that works. That's how life works. And when you understand that and you see that and you comprehend that for what that really is, you start analyzing, you start making choices and decisions, you start speaking up to your heavenly staff as well as to yourself and say, hold up, wait a minute. So how do I really want to go about this? But let's go back to where we were. When I found out I was like 21, 22, I was talking to her and things was not going very well. In my eyes, she was rude, she was disrespectful, she was controlling, and it's like what I kind of said to my current mate a couple weeks ago. If you could tell me what to, and I started saying it